Salah to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Good morning. Welcome to the first bulletin of the day here on 3FM 92.7 on Sunrise Morning Show with me, George Kwaning. Coming up this morning, NDC George Kwaning is MP-elect of Asin North constituency.
I hereby declare Honorable James Jachi Kwesi as the Member of Parliament elect for the Asin North constituency.
We will hear from the new MP.
Now, this is a victory not just for myself, it's for the people of Asin North, and in fact for the country Ghana. Hopefully one day we'll pursue a good direction of justice to realize that politics is not about sharing money.
And also how NDC supporters celebrated the victory. Plus, today is a holiday because Muslims in Ghana across the globe are celebrating Eid Adha, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice. We've got details of these and many more if you stay with me for the next 10 minutes. My name is George Kwaning. Now the news in details. The parliamentary candidate of the National Democratic Congress, James Jachi Kwaning, has retained the Asin North seat for the party. He garnered 17,245 votes, representation of 57.56% of the total votes, to beat his main rival, Charles Opoku of the New Patriotic Party, who had 12,630 votes, a representation of 42.15% of the total vote cast. The candidate of the Liberal Party of Ghana, Benis Enyonam Sepa, also had 87, representing 0.29% of the total vote cast. Here's how the EC declared Jachi Kwasing's victory. Take a listen.
These are the details of the results. Now, 3 candidates contested. Candidate number 1, in the person of Charles Opoku of the New Patriotic Party, secured 12,630 votes. Candidate number 2, Sefenu Benis Enyonam of the LPG, secured 87 votes. Candidate number 3, James Kwesi secured 17,245. I hereby declare Honorable James Jachi Kwesi as the Member of Parliament elect for the Asin North constituency.
And victorious James Jachi Kwasing says the win is for the constituency.
Now, this is a victory not just for myself, it's for the people of Asin North, and in fact for the country Ghana. Hopefully one day we'll pursue a good direction of justice, and also to realize that politics is not about sharing money to citizens and get a vote. It's about development. Democracy itself is about development. And we're going to set this trend along to make sure that people who are represented get a fair share of the national cake and how to develop their communities.
And he also responded to the president's comment on his impending court case.
I was a bit disappointed to hear that, and I know he's a lawyer, and the fundamental belief or value of legal system, you're innocent until proven guilty. So for him to say that, I think it's not a qualified statement. But again, the good people of Asin North have demonstrated that they have conscience and they believe in me. And I mean, human conscience supersedes every justice system. I'm not here to play games. I came for purpose. I have a vision that I came with.
And now the director of communication of the party, Sami Jemfi, says the resounding victory is a clear indication of the hunger for justice among Ghanaians.
This victory is anchored or has been anchored on a superior candidate. We had a better candidate, a candidate who was already marketable, loved sincerely, by the good people of this country. And the electorate are very discerning, very intelligent, very wise, very courageous, and they decided to stand by the truth. They decided to stand by justice. And it is their fidelity to the truth and justice that has birthed this victory.
And now let's listen to the General Secretary of the party, who believes the win is a prediction of NDC's 2024 victory.
What it is they have signaled is a signal to the rest of the country that this type of governance, this type of leadership, is a leadership that must absolutely be thrown into the dustbin of history, must be punished, must be humiliated, must be exposed. And I hope to God that the 30+ million Ghanaians are paying heed. Because what is happening is something that is destructive to the very soul of our country. It's a democracy that is at risk. It's a nation that is being destroyed by a group of people who have become depraved in their leadership.
And our residents of Asin North have spoken, giving James Kwaning the nod again to represent them in Parliament at the just ended by-elections yesterday. Pouring onto the street in wild celebrations, the youth say not even threat of imprisonment could stop the will of the people. My colleague Merrick Morinebeta was there after and report.
And so pure ecstasy from constituent here at Asimbreku, the hometown of James Kwaning, after he was formally declared victorious in the by-elections here, the 27th of June. Komla Kruche is here with me as well, my colleague who's been throughout the processes in this by-elections with us on your election command center. Komla, ecstasy purely from these constituents.
Well, you can't fault them. They wanted this, and this is what they got. I mean, many interpretations can be put to this, but it's a strong signal that they are sending to the rest of the country that irrespective of whatever there is. I mean, we had seen even today, whilst voting was ongoing, there was some level of roadworks going on.
James Kwaning at the Catholic Youth Center as well responded to the comments by the president and all of the controversy which has characterized his reign. First time which has been officially expunged according to a ruling by the Supreme Court. Here is what he told journalists at the Catholic Youth Center.
I believe in the rule of law, and I do things according to the law, right? And also I had the support of my constituent, all the people of Asin, not just even Asin, because people alone, my NDC fraternity, then I got people from even the other side. Politics is not about sharing money to citizens and get a vote. It's about development. I was a bit disappointed to hear that. And I know he's a lawyer, and the fundamental belief or value of legal system, you're innocent until proven guilty.
And that was the MP-elect of Asin North, George Kwaning, on his victory. And Muslims across the globe are today celebrating Eid Adha, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice. The festival enjoys special significance because the day of sacrifice also marks the climax of Hajj, or pilgrimage, the fifth pillar of Islam. Eid al-Adha is the second and the largest of the two main holidays celebrated in Islam because it honors the willingness of Abraham to sacrifice one of his sons as an act of obedience to Allah's command. Here in Ghana, the day is commemorated with Islamic prayer gatherings, feasting and fashion, with the day set aside as a holiday. And our parliament is tomorrow expected to begin a second reading of the controversial anti-LGBT bill. This follows a directive by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, for the Business Committee to schedule the bill despite two legal challenges against it. Parliament's Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee has recommended the approval of the bill, albeit with some variations. Speaking on the floor of Parliament on Friday, First Deputy Speaker Joseph Osei announced the directive for Speaker Bagbin and said it must be complied with without fail.
Two matters. One, the study orders committee's report should be programmed for Thursday. So please take note and have it programmed for Thursday. Two, the proper human sexuality and Ghanaian family values bill be programmed for Tuesday or Thursday, or whatever it is, it must be on the other paper next week. And that Tuesday, the motion for second reading of that bill should be programmed for Tuesday or Thursday. These are the directives of Mr. Speaker.
Well, if you're just tuning, you're listening to the news at 6 on 3FM 92.7 with me, George Kwaning. Before we part company, petrol and LPG consumers should expect shortages from Thursday, June 29, due to tanker drivers' strike over poor roads. And the Association of Oil Marketing Companies urges government to prevent a potential crisis.
The strike by petroleum tanker drivers continues unabated. Experts say this is an economic issue that has dire implications. These depots here have consignment in them. In order to attend to the vessels, we need to actually lift the consignment in here to create space for whatever content the vessels are bringing. But that is not the case. The more these vessels wait, the more demurrages these depot managers pay.
The cost can be very high, and they can have even a daily rate that they'll pay. Could be thousands of dollars. That's not the only cost they will attract. They attract other costs as well.
The Association of Oil Marketing Companies is worried about the strike and is calling on government to swiftly intervene to ensure the worst doesn't happen.
This one is not a business where you say that I've missed this one, I'm going to double the volume. It's not going to happen. People will just be prudent in using the fuel. The quantity will dip. Hence government revenue and then also our revenue. So it's not good for everybody.
GP tanker drivers are unwilling to transport petroleum products until their bad rules are fixed. Stocks of fuel retail outlets are waiting to get depleted. After that, what next? The guess is as good as mine.
Well, on that note, we end the morning news. Before we go looking at our top stories, NDC James Kwaning is MP-elect of Ascent North. And today is a holiday because Muslims in Ghana and across the globe are celebrating Eid al-Adha, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice. My name is George Kwaning for more news updates. Just log on to our website, it's 3news.com. Barakat Salah to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Have a good morning.